Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 17 of Millionaire Mindset Mornings, where every morning at 8 a.m. in the month of September, I go live and share with you some business tips and strategies to help you in your business. Real quick, I'm going to do my social media checks, but I am Rita the Gold Digger. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm always so glad to have you. If you are a fellow gold digger and you are coming back every week, welcome. I appreciate you. And if you are a returning listener, welcome. Welcome back, every one of you. And if this is your first time then I hope you will enjoy. And please feel free to check out some of the replays from the previous days because it's a lot of good content in there and a lot of things that will help you. Okay. So, on today, we are this whole week, we're in week 3 of our Millionaire Mindset Mornings, and we have been focusing on protecting our mindset from dream killers, okay? And today's dream killer that we're going to be talking about is distractions, okay? So, how many of y'all have a lot of distractions in your life? Because dream killers, oftentimes, they rarely attack like head on. You rarely kind of see them coming. They're not going to be so obvious. They come disguised as distractions, all right? They show up at the least opportune time to distract you, whether that's on your timeline because you're scrolling, whether that's in your DMs, whether it's even your to-do list, the stuff that you already created for yourself. That's how distractions can show up, all right? And sometimes they might even look like opportunities, but they're not opportunities necessarily. They're really dream killers. So that is what we're going to be focusing on, these different distractions, okay? Because they dress up in disguise. They have a cute little outfit on, but an ugly agenda to get you distracted, to get you off track, to cause you to lose focus. And now you're down a rabbit hole in your business. Okay. We don't want that. We need you to stay focused so that you can be successful and collect those coins. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about, because the enemy, it doesn't necessarily set out to destroy your dream. Its agenda is to kind of delay your dream, okay? Delay it and derail it and get you off track and keep you from working on it, all right? And we don't want that. All right, so let's clear the clutter so that your genius and your expertise and whatever you have to offer can freely breathe in a space without all the chaos and clutter. All right, I do have a couple of church announcements that I am going to give to you today. Tipsy Tuesday was last night. If you haven't already checked out that, please go ahead and do so. Also, I announced that I'm going to have I won't say a bunch, but I'm going to have some new videos as well as some new segments coming out. So make sure if you're not already locked in with me, go ahead and get locked in. And I also will have a free side hustle webinar coming up within a couple of weeks. So more details for that are coming soon. All right. So make sure you're tapped in so you can see how you can participate in that. But usually with the Millionaire Mindset Mornings, I'm going to give you 3 points. And then I actually have like an action step for you to take at the end. So we're going to go ahead and drop point number 1. And the first point I want to make when it comes to distraction detox and cutting the noise so you can see your genius is that busyness isn't always productivity. Okay. Being busy does not mean that you are productive. So that's the first point. And I've said this a lot of times. Okay. We confuse busyness with being productive. So making sure busyness does not mean productivity. All right. There is a difference. When you're busy, you're just distracted. Distracted. When you're productive, you're busy, but you're also producing stuff that is actually going to get you to your goal. The busyness is focused. When I say focus, it means that you're actually working on stuff that's going to move the needle in the direction that you want to go. When you're just busy, the distractions cause you to be scattered and going in all different places. All right. So just because your calendar is full, it doesn't mean that you are doing the things that are going to make sure your future dreams and your future goals are going to be fulfilled. Okay. The dream killers like this will confuse you. All right. And have you thinking that you are moving in the right direction, and that the things that you are doing are effective, but you're just being busy. All right. Here's an example. And I actually had to be in this particular season at one time in my life too. So Steve Jobs, who had, the founder of Apple, who had since passed away, when you saw him dressed, he was always dressed in the same thing. It was like a black t-shirt and jeans and stuff like that, because he said that he did not want to think about what he had to wear for the day. And there was a season in my business where I was the same way. All my clothes were black. Like if I went to work, everything was black. And I remember hearing about that with Steve Jobs. And I had to do that because, one, I didn't even have the mental capacity to waste. I was so focused on what I needed to accomplish in my business that I didn't want to waste 1 ounce of my mental capacity trying to decide what outfit I'm going to wear, or coordinate this shirt with this top, this bottom, or making sure things match. I said, if I keep it black, I keep it simple. I don't even have to think about it. I just put on what I need to do and I go on about my day. Because what I was finding is I would be spending 15, 20 minutes of my time in the morning when I could be working on something, trying to find stuff that works or trying to match things up, or then I didn't like this. So then I would switch it out, and I already ironed this particular thing. And now since it didn't look right or whatever, I had to go get something else and iron that and all that kind of stuff. And it was just a waste of time. Okay. And I was like, I don't have this time to waste. I need to get my morning started. I need to get my day started. And not to mention, not only did I waste that time, I wasted that mental capacity because my thoughts were kind of scattered. I'm already kind of frustrated and flustered with the day because I couldn't find the outfit that I wanted, or it didn't match like I wanted it to be. So it's like little things like that you might not think about, but think about how your morning started off. I know it's still early in the morning. Have you given yourself enough time in the morning to process the things that you need to do? Or are you scrambling and running around because you're trying to rush to the next thing? I'm actually going to talk about that in an upcoming video about how we start our mornings and everything. That's one of the new videos that I was telling you about that I'm going to be sharing in one of the new segments and stuff. But think about that. What are you cluttering up your mind with? What are you cluttering up your mental capacity with that you don't necessarily have to do? These little distractions that are taking you out of the game and getting you off of your square. All right. So being busy does not always equal productivity. The second tip that I have is your phone. Oh, that phone. It is so awesome. It is so helpful. It's a great way to make money, but it's also an enemy to you at times too. So it's like a frenemy. Your phone is a frenemy. What do I mean by that? You can just be scrolling for hours. Hours. You say, oh, I'm only going to get on here for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. And next thing you know, you laughing at memes, you laughing at reels, and it's been a whole 2 hours. And you like, dang, let me get up and start working on my business. But then when you do get up, you're like, you know what, man, I'm actually hungry. So then you go get something to eat. And then by the time you get something to eat, you sit down and like now it's been 3 hours, 3.5 hours, all because you said you were going to sit here, check something out that you saw that was funny on Instagram. And now it's 3.5 hours later and you have not worked your business, but you've given your time, you've given your hours, you've given all your mental capacity to something that is not even making you money. All right. So your phone is your frenemy. Let me put that up as point number 2. Your phone can be your frenemy. Is a frenemy. So don't let it be like, hey friend, we gotta talk. All right. So, and also, even if you're not on social media or scrolling and stuff like that, I know a lot of us keep our phones on do not disturb, because every ding, every ping, every ring, that is a distraction as well and pulls us away from our millionaire moves. Okay. So if you like, well, I have my phone on do not disturb and that's great. That's awesome. Make sure you're not actually creating more distractions for yourself when you get on those different social medias, TikTok and things like that, and end up scrolling for endless amounts of hours at a time and don't even realize it. Because here's the kicker, y'all. Just like TikTok and Instagram, they've been working on their business. You need to work on yours because they've worked on their business so well. Their whole goal is to keep you on their platform. So they have won. So they're going to keep suggesting stuff that you like. They're going to take note of what your interests are to keep you on the platform. That is their goal. They know if they can keep eyeballs on the platform, that generates or can translate into them making more money for themselves. So they got a beautiful business model. So they are winning, they are succeeding in their business. Meanwhile, it's distracting you from yours. So you need to figure out what is going to keep me motivated and keep me driven and keep me going in my business that I can't let distractions tear me away from it. What is going to keep me going after it again and again and again, even when times get hard, because sometimes you be scrolling and it be dead, it be dry, and you still be looking for the interesting content, right? You still be looking like, let me see, let me check out this page. Well, let me see what they got going on, or this social media, this particular like celebrity or whatever. Let me see what they got. Even when it seems dry and stale in top. All right, sorry guys. This internet ever since last night has been acting up. I'm sorry. I was just saying you need to treat your business the same way. So the same way you're scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, things of that nature, trying to find something to pique your interest when your business is dry and stale, you need to keep that interest and keep that momentum up and be like, what can I find in my business? Okay, it's a dry season. How can I revive it? How can I create more vitality to it? Okay, that's what you need to be looking for. All right, so that you can stay locked in and connected to your business. All right, because your phone is your frenemy and it can cause distractions. So stay focused on what matters. Excuse me, what matters most to you. All right. The last and final point I have is protect your prime hours. We're going to break that down. So let me put that on the screen because that's our last point. So you want to protect your prime hours. So that's point number 3. And we'll dive into it. Your prime hours are like your peak hours when you perform your best. All right. Like for me, I know my prime hours are in the morning. So if I want to create fresh ideas or if I'm really trying to be creative in my business, I know I need to tap in or dial it in first thing in the morning. And usually probably before 12 or 1, by 2 o'clock, my creativity is is waning. Okay, it is waning. Between about, I would say really between about 9ish, 10ish to 2, I feel is my best, is my peak time, is my prime time for me to be focused and working on stuff. If I haven't knocked it out by 2 p.m., I kind of hang it up. Like, I'm not going to be my best. I'm not going to be my best after that. So you have to protect your prime hours, okay? So you need to be self-aware and tap into, when am I the sharpest? When do I feel like the most alert? When do I feel the most creative? And it could be the opposite for you. Some people are night owls and it's like late at night in the midnight hour. That's when they feel they're most creative and things of that nature. For me, it's more so in the morning time, and it's after I've kind of poured into myself, like done my devotion, done a little bit, I'm not going to say call it meditation, but I just had some time to think to myself, said my affirmations, things of that nature. After I poured into myself, then I have more clarity when it comes to focusing on my business. And for me, that's usually in the morning times. So whatever your peak and your prime times are, you need to guard those hours. Don't waste your best energy. Excuse me, y'all. Don't waste your best energy on small talk or scrolling. Okay. Use that time to be productive in your business. All right. So whatever that time is, that's what you need to do. All right. So I'm going to do a real quick recap about what we talked about today. We are doing a distraction detox so we can cut the noise so that we can hear our own genius and our own creativity. The first tip I gave you is recognize that busyness isn't always productivity. Okay. The second tip I gave you is that your phone, it can be your frenemy. And the last and final tip is that you need to protect your prime hours. All right. As always, I have a millionaire mindset action step for you to take. And for today, I want you to choose one distraction. You can do it today or tomorrow, because I know some of y'all about to be side-eyeing me. Choose one distraction and eliminate it for 24 hours. 24 hours. The clock is ticking. So you can do it today, tomorrow, whenever you feel it's going to be best for you. But choose one distraction, whatever it is. It could be Instagram, it could be TikTok, it could be you talking to your friends or something like that. And for 24 hours, you just shut down those distractions and track how much you get done in that time. So don't just shut it down and don't do anything. Okay. You got to shut it down and make sure you have something on your schedule, on your agenda that is going to move you forward, move the needle in your business. All right. So y'all can drop in the chat no phones, or even put like a no phone emoji if you're ready for a distraction detox. All right. Because we are protecting our peace. And when we protect our peace, that helps us to protect our profits. All right. So please be sure to like and subscribe. And tune in tomorrow. Day 18 is we're going to be protecting our peace while we build our paper. What's up? Hey, Queen T. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. She says, hi, Rita. Thank you for these motivational focus plans. I'm battling all the time. We all are, sis. We are all going through it. But we just have to be self-aware and know, hey, this has been distracting me. This is what I need to do. And kind of like reset and reframe things so that we can get back on track. All right. So that's all I have. Check out the replay for Tipsy Tuesday from yesterday, which was our final segment of our side hustle workshop. Also, I shared at the top of the video. Make sure you are logged in because I got a lot of new things coming for you guys. And I will be announcing it on the channel, new videos, new video segments. Some of it may actually be dropping today, as well as a free side hustle webinar that I'm going to be doing. But you have to be locked in because it will not be on YouTube or like Facebook or anything like that. It's going to be a more intimate and private community where I can work with you guys, or be able to engage with you guys, I should say, more one-on-one, which I can't do on YouTube. Like, thank you so much. Like, thank you to Queen T for putting her comment out there, but I want to be able to actually have a dialogue with you in real time. So this free side hustle webinar that's coming up, that is what that will allow you to do, so that I can actually talk to you and see and help you more specifically in the things that you need assistance in when it comes to your business. All right. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. for another Millionaire Mindset Morning. Bye, guys.